Hey folks, what's going on? It's a regular show night, Monday night. Yeah, sorry for the late start. I was just waiting for this internet to kind of catch up. I've been having some internet issues like some other people I've seen online this week. And so sometimes I gotta let the stream run a little bit in order to get it to catch up. So hopefully you can all hear me and see me okay. Got the SG tonight, a little bit of SG action. Got some news regarding some other stuff to go over with you. Just got back from Vegas on Thursday, so that was an interesting week to say the least. I'm sure you guys will agree. So it's good to be home, and weather's starting to get a little bit better, so that's always a positive. Let me go in the chat and see who's joining us tonight, and then we'll get on with the program. We got R2, R3, what's going on, brother? He says, what did he say? Oh, hey Brian, did you get it? I think he's referring to a guitar, and we will touch on that in just a little bit. Dave R's Guitars in the house. Who else is in here? We've got Scott Connor. What's going on, Scott? I noticed the new Shaler locks are supposed to be silent too. Oh, maybe. I'm using the Ernie Ball locks, the ones that Guitar Hack had suggested, and they seem to be working well. I did have Shalers before, but kind of got freaked out by some people having issues with them, so I went to the other ones. Who else? We got Danny Allen. What's going on? He says he's been mostly quiet lately, watching and practicing, but I'm here. That's good, man. That's what I do a lot of times when I'm watching a stream or something. Unless I'm actively involved in a discussion of some sort, I'm usually jamming away with a guitar or something of that nature. Let me see if this helps this. No, that doesn't do anything. Hold on one second. Let me just put this standby. Does that work? Still, it's not that big a difference. Okay. Cool. Let's see who else. We've got Todd Flowers. What's going on, Todd? Many familiar names, and well, I haven't seen all of your faces, so I don't know necessarily how all of you look, but I know the names. Rick Hefner, what's going on? Quentin, what's going, man? I see you got yourself a new camera. It looks a lot better. Definitely a huge improvement, man. So congrats on that. And watched some of your stream earlier. That was fun. I could hear the bird chippering away back there. I think he likes the guitar, so that's a good sign, right? Mitch Heyman, what's going on? Nocturnal, how's it going? I listened to your live stream this morning. I was actually on the road. I had to go to the music store to pick up some stuff, so I did catch most of it on the replay, but I did catch a little bit of it live when I was able to jump in and say hi. Always enjoy that show, so I hope you keep doing it on a regular basis. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays are the regular times that Nocturnal usually goes live, around 10 a.m. It changes sometimes a little later, but yeah, awesome. Rick Hefner's in here. If I didn't say hi, I can't remember if I did or not, but hello. Let's see. Okay, we've got you guys saying hi to each other. Awesome. Janice, what's going on, Janice? Nice to see you. See Janice around in other streams and stuff, which is always cool. And keep going down. I think I'm caught up now. Should be David Ennis. How's it going? Eric from EVH and Gear TV Network is here as well. Nice to see everybody. So yeah, it was a pretty busy week last week, and I'm pretty much copyrighted out as far as all that hoopla that was happening. And I'll tell you, it was quite the talk in the community that I was with on last week at that show that I was at. So I'm pretty much talked out on that subject. So there was a couple of good live streams that happened, I believe, on Friday night, and a couple other ones that I caught. Tone King did one, and a few other people did some covering some of the subject. When it comes to though the legal aspects of all this, it's, you know, when a lawyer's talking or something like that, it's just, you know, I need more black and white answers and less of the, well, if you do this and it depends on that and it depends on this and you can do this and you can, you know what, just tell me yes you can or no you can't and leave it at that. That's the only thing I hate. Even when I was talking to the lawyers that I spoke to last week at that show, it was painful at times, because it's just, you know, just give me a straight answer. I think these guys get paid for their time, so they're used to going, you know, with all the scenarios and giving you all the, you're taking, you know, you're paying them by the minute, I think, so they usually go on and on about stuff, and I just want the answers. But anyway, it was an interesting week, and I didn't just do the copyright and all that legal bullshit. So I was doing a lot of stuff with the tech stuff, a lot of new, well, not really that many new cameras. A few new cameras came out. The one that I was waiting for was a Sony, it's a Sony a7S III, and they didn't release it at the show. Apparently they're going to release it in the fall. And the reason they're doing that is because they don't have any, like Canon and Nikon and Panasonic, they don't have anything out on the market that is even competing with what Sony has out on the market now. So they have no rushing like putting out a new camera or a new model yet. So that's why they're holding off a little bit and probably release something in the fall that'll blow us all away. And then Canon and Nikon and everybody else will have to catch up, as they've been trying to do the last couple of years. So it is what it is. Let's see, a few more people jumped in. I Rock the Blues, how's it going? I thought I saw somebody else jump in here. Let me see. Oh, maybe not. I Rock the Blues. Okay, I think I got all of you guys. And yeah, other than that, I saw some cool technology, and I didn't get out too much, as far as I wanted to get out and look, you know, go to some guitar shops and different things and maybe see a show or something. But honestly, it's when you go to these things, it's like, from the minute you wake up in the morning, you go have your breakfast, and then you're on the go, and you're at your meetings, your classes, you're going to see the equipment you want to see. By the time you're done that, it's like, you know, past, you know, you go out to dinner or something, and then you're ready, you know, to hit the sack and basically do it all over the next day. So I didn't really get a chance to see that much. I did get out on the Friday night that I got there, and I went to Guitar Center, and I posted a couple of little videos there with some of the guitars I was playing. They had some nice, really nice stuff in the room that they lock all the high-end guitars in anyway. So I was looking at some of that stuff, and the Gibson R9s and R8s and everything were in there. So that was fun, and bought a few T-shirts, and you know, but I like to get to, we don't have any guitar centers here in Canada. We have Long McQuaid and stuff, but the Guitar Center in Vegas it's pretty big, and it was nice to see. I went to Sam Ash as well, which was not too far from the hotel that I was staying at. And that one was okay too. So it's smaller than the Guitar Center, but you know, it had some nice stuff, and I can't really buy anything at these places, as far as maybe a pedal or something like that. But as far as guitars and stuff, it's just real pain to bring them back home and deal with all the, you know, the border and everything else. So, but you know, it was fun to go look at stuff. I did want to go, there was another store, I think it was called Cowtown Guitars or something like that, but then I looked it up and they closed. I guess the guy closed shop late last year. He had other businesses, and those other business, I don't know if they didn't do well or something, and he had to close the shop. So that shop was done. And the other one was Ronin Guitars that I looked at. Problem with Ronins was they were only open certain times, and those times I was actually in at my classes and stuff like that. So at night they weren't open, and even on the weekend, I think I wanted to go on the Sunday, they weren't open, and Saturday was very limited hours, and I was busy all day. So I didn't get to see everything I wanted to go see, but I had a good time anyway, and it was fun. And yeah, so got back here, and I was, as you know, looking for guitars, and I tried a bunch of guitars on the weekend. I went to a couple of music stores. I met with some people that were selling privately as well, and the guitars I'm looking for was obviously well, most of you guys know is the R9, which is in the title of this live stream. But I did play a couple R8s, and a couple of guys had some good deals on some R8s. I just, the neck was not for me. Like, not that I could have probably got used to it, but when I played them back to back, the R9 was where my comfort level was as far as the neck feel, and you know, everything else about it just kind of felt better for me. And I figured I need to hold out until I find that R9 that's going to be the one, since I know at least it's that R9. I tried the RO, which is a smaller neck. I tried the R7, which is an even bigger neck. So I've definitely exhausted all options as far as knowing exactly what I want. I know the color I want and everything else. And yeah, so I have a little bit of news to share with you in a bit, and yeah, so that's cool. Other than that, I hope everybody's doing well, and if you have any questions in the chat, let me know. Let me see, I'm just gonna go back here. Did I miss anybody that came in? I saw a new name pop in here, but no. Guitar, that's not weird. Okay, so you guys are talking about, Denny says, I watched the Tower Records documentary last night. It's interesting how the internet and computers affected the physical media recording business. Yeah, it definitely affected everything. The internet changed the whole landscape of business, that's for sure. But you know, some businesses could have adapted a lot quicker and probably saved themselves, you know, going bankrupt or closing altogether if they would have just, you know, adapted the technology and taken it more seriously when it came out. Because a lot of people, when the internet came out, they thought, oh, you know, this is just a little fad, and nobody's going to put a credit card online on a website or anything like that. And look at where we are today. Everybody's doing that. That's just normal way of doing business. And then the whole digital music thing, you know, that everybody starts streaming, and it changed the face of music even as far as that goes. Hey Terry, what's going on? I see you popped in here. Mitch Heyman says, in my local guitar center, they don't have anything really close to my amp at home in the store. I'm in the Midwest. If I like the way it plays, I can adjust with electronics to my liking after. I'm not sure, are you talking about like something like a Katana or something? Because I know Katanas, you can do a lot of adjusting with digital. Well, they have all the pedals, all the Boss pedals are kind of included with that amp digitally. You have to go into your computer and set that up, but let me just make sure I'm seeing everything. Scott Connor says, I had an okay day. My lawnmower that wouldn't start did not. Yeah, we're not looking at lawnmowers just yet here. We still got a few weeks probably before we're doing any lawn mowing. Let's put it that way. But it's getting there. The grass is starting to turn color, and there's no more snow or anything like that. So it's only a matter of maybe a few weeks. We're going to get some rain this week, so that's all right for me, because I want the roads to be cleared from sand and salt and all that crap, because I want to get the motorcycles out soon. But I can't really do that until the roads get a little cleaner. Let's see. Nocturnal says, I'm currently listening to the boy rocking out in his room. Cool. I can probably guarantee Nocturnal that he's not playing rap. Am I right? You know how I feel about rap. and I always give her a hard time with that. What's he playing? Yeah, so I'm going to venture to guess that it's not rap. Other than that, I'm not really sure what that is. Eric says rocking out on his Variax and Helix sounds awesome. Yeah, awesome. I was playing with the Helix actually. I got to get the new patch that you created, Eric. I haven't had a chance to do that. I guess what I need to do first is I'm running. Let me just double check if I can bring it up here. I'll just load up my Helix program. Hopefully this doesn't crash my computer, but let's see. Because I think I'm running an older version of the software for. I'm running 2.60, and I think either I know they're at 2.7. I don't know if they've released 2.8 yet. So I have to. I guess I have to do the update to the Helix software to the latest, and then I have to make sure that I back up all my user presets, the ones that I've created myself, because I don't want to lose those, and then I can go download your stuff and bring that in as well. So I just got to remember the process of 2.71. Okay, 2.71 is the latest firmware, so I need to get that for sure before I go and get more patches, because you might be using stuff from 2.71 that is not in my version, the 2.6. So I want to get that. 2.8 will probably be last day of spring. Okay, all right. The only thing is I have to remember what the steps are, because I know that if you want to back up your current setup, you do something and you store it in a folder, and then you do the update, and then you restore your presets. And I did it before, obviously. It's been a while since I've even touched it as far as doing any updates. I've been running it with 2.6 for a while now, so I just gotta double check and see if I can figure that all out, which I'm sure I can. It's just, you know. Let's see, Terry says he's good, and while my box was damaged, the bass was, yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I saw the box was kind of damaged, but yeah, that's good that the bass made it okay, and only that little nick I think on the headstock that you got, so that'll be all right. Scott Connor says once I get some bills paid off, I want to get a Helix. Yeah, Helix is a really good machine. And if you're a guitar player, I think you'll get a lot of use out of that, because you can pretty much dial up any sound you want, and it's pretty convenient, and you've got tons of options. So even the Stomp is, for me, if I was, on a, tight budget and I only had so many things that I could have or whatever, and I couldn't get the full Helix, I'd be happy with the Stomp, because you can do a hell of a lot with that little box. And it's the same engine that runs the Helix. It's just you can only put like 6 blocks or 6 effects on one patch, which is fine, because most of the time you don't need any more than that. You can get some amazing sounds using that, and you can load IRs and third-party things in it that you can do on the big Helix, so that's an option as well. Let's see. Okay, so I'm getting that 2.8. Danny Allen says, would vinyl, tape, or CD people would buy the whole album for one hit song and discover that they like other songs? Yeah, and now they just download the one song that they hear on the radio, and then most of the time they don't even check out all the other stuff, which is kind of a bummer. That first song, I don't know if you were all here before the stream got started, but that little intro part where it just says stream starting soon, that song you heard there with the singing was one of our originals. From the band SMEER that I was part of back, well, most of the late 90s and most of the 2000s. So that was an original from there, which I bet you anything, and the reason I put it there tonight is I want them to send me the copyright claim. They will send it, I'm absolutely sure of it, because CD Baby is doing the distribution of all our music SMEER wise, as far as when it gets streamed or it collects the royalties from that, and this, I'm sure they're going to send me a copyright, and I want them to do that because I want to fight it. Not fight it, but I want to get back to them and say, listen, you need to whitelist my channel for all SMEER music, and then I want to see what the process is and see how long that takes, or how much of a pain in the ass that's going to be. just so that I know what's involved, and I can let you guys know as well if you guys have any of those types of issues. Because I've played my own music, like the SMEER songs and stuff, in the past, and I've gotten the claim. It doesn't affect me, like the channel. I still get, you know, if they say if you run ads or if you make money on this, you know, you're going to be sharing revenue, which I'm sharing it with myself basically. So I get the full cut, other than what CD Baby probably takes for handling the administrative part of it. But I want to see what it's, if I send them an email once they do the claim, what they come back with, and they'll probably, you know, say, yeah, it's fine, we know you own the song, but we have to send the claim. And then I'll say, well, listen, there must be a way we can whitelist the channel so that I don't get any more claims from anybody regarding these things. And I'll let you know how that goes. Let's see. I'll be happy to assist. Eric, you'll be happy to assist. I'm not sure if you're talking about the assist to get the channel whitelisted with that, or you're talking about the Helix stuff. But anyway, I will definitely reach out to you if I need some stuff figured out. Let's see. Eric says it should be whitelisted within 24 hours max. In my case, within hours. Okay, good to know. Hey, Guitar Hack, what's going on? Okay, so Guitar Hack's here. So let's talk about my my R9 adventure, because I know that Guitar Hack likes Les Pauls and stuff like that. So hopefully you can stick around for a few minutes, and we'll go over that. So on the weekend, when I get something in my head, I'm like, I can't get it out. I'm full bore, and I know that I want to get an R9. That's my 50th. I'm going to be 50 in August, and that's going to be that's my dream guitar, and I've always wanted that. So I've been pretty much on the hunt for one. I'd say for the last couple of months, you know, searching the stores, searching online, going on Reverb, going on eBay, going everywhere, looking at every possible option out there, and just kind of exploring to see where things would sit, because unfortunately, yeah, I want to get something really special for my 50th, and then that's my dream guitar, but I'm not willing to spend the money that going to the store and buying a new one would be, because they're over $7 grand in Canada, any store that's selling an R9. So the other option was, you know, only to find something that would fit all the specs and the criteria that I was looking for on the used market. So that's what I've been primarily doing the last couple of weeks. And this weekend I had a chance, I did find some really good candidates for the guitar. And so I reached out to those people during the week while I was in Vegas. I just emailed them and told them when I'd be back, and if we could arrange to meet and I could try the guitars and stuff like that. So on Saturday, I went out and I tried, I actually went to a store first because I knew they had all the models there that I wanted to try. So I wanted to go there first, try them, get the exact pricing, talk to the store owners to see if the price that they're asking, that's what it is, or do you get, you know, can you drop the price a little bit, or what, you know, what that final number would look like. So I did that, and then I met with some people, yeah, about an hour and a half from me. There's some guys that were selling some guitars that I was interested in, and one guy was an R8, one guy had an R7 and an R9, and so I went to try those ones, and they were nice. The R8 just had too big a neck for me, so I'm like, and the price for the R8 was pretty good. It was a 2016 model. It was the color I liked and everything, but it just, if I'm going to spend that type of money, and it's got to be exactly what I want. So I didn't bother going ahead with that deal, even though the guy was willing to work with me, and I would probably, you know, got a really good price for it, you know, and everything. The other thing that I was looking to do in the used market was, in order to get this R9, I definitely need to sell a guitar, and the guitar that I was willing to part with was my 2016 Standard. And a lot of these guys that were selling these R8s and R9s were had in their description that they might be willing to trade for something that, you know, if they liked the trade. It had to be like a USA built guitar, Tellys, Les Pauls, Strats, things like that, and then you'd probably have to pay, you know, the extra in cash or whatever. But that kind of intrigued me, because then if I can find the right deal and trade my standard and get what I would get if I were to sell it privately, that would save me the whole hassle of trying to sell it privately. First of all, because that's always a pain in the ass, because you've got to go meet some guy, and then you got to haggle with pricing, and you got to deal with a bunch of emails and all that crap. So that was the goal, is to find that guy that has exactly what I'm looking for and is willing to trade. So so late Saturday, I found a guy that had 2018 R9, and he was more of a collector. He had he had Gretches, he had, like, I think he has 18 guitars, and they're all really high-end guitar, and he's kind of liquidating some stuff because I guess he's getting ready to retire or so, whatever he was saying. And this guitar, the R9, he had gotten it last year. His brother-in-law had brought it right from Nashville, from the shop. They picked one from the shop, the custom shop or whatever, and he picked exactly what he wanted and so forth. The guitar had not been out of the case more than 3 or 4 times with this guy. So I made the appointment. I went to see him yesterday, and this thing was immaculate. I mean, it was better than even the new ones on the wall that I tried at some of the stores. When you picked them up, you looked, and some of the back of the guitars might have had some scuffs and stuff, because people actually pick them up and play them at these music stores. So they get played, and they might get dinged up or whatever. But I tell you, when I picked up that guitar that I went to see yesterday with this guy, it was not a scratch. It still had the tags on it. The case had the same tags that it came from in Nashville. So it was immaculate. So the next thing was for him to look at my standard and see if he wanted it first and foremost, and if he was going to give me what I wanted out of that guitar. So I had my standard with me. He had a look and liked it, was impressed with the condition. Obviously, all my guitars are like top notch. I play all my stuff, but I take care of it. So it reflected that, and so he was willing to talk. So I was like, okay, this might be the one. So we proceeded to talk a little bit more, and the thing that basically helped my position was, this guy was really into motorcycles, and we were actually in his shop talking guitars, and he had his couple of guitars there that he was showing me, and he had the R9 that I was looking at, and we were in his shop, and his shop had like a nice car there, like an old car, and he had a couple of Harleys there and then some bikes he was working on. So I immediately was like, oh, what's this bike and all that. So I started talking with him, and we struck up a good friendship. Like within half an hour, we were like if we would have known each other for many years, because we had a lot in common. So I think that definitely helped, and there was something that kind of I guess made that happen or something, because what are the chances you're going to find that guy that has that guitar in that condition, exactly what you want, in the color you want, the weight you want, and willing to make a deal with you on your current standard, and to get you to the pricing where you want it to be at. And the guy is into motorcycles like I am, and so everything was kind of like lining up at that point. So I was like, okay, this is good. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that we were able to strike a deal, and I'm happy to report that I did get the guitar. So give me 1 second, and let me go grab it. Give me 1 second. Put that one there, and then I'll show you this one. So this is the R9, and after a lot of searching, a lot of trying to get that one guitar, that exact color I wanted, that neck profile that I like, the exact weight. This weighs about 8.6, 8.7 I believe is what the weight is on this guitar. And it's even still got the tag on it, the Gibson Custom. Like I said, this thing came out of the case maybe 3 times, the guy said. Not a scratch on it. It's got, here's the headstock. Here's the back of it here. It's got that thing here. It's hard to see with the light, or the little medallion thing on it. But again, not a scratch on the back or anything. Was never played. So we made a deal. He took my standard as a part of the trade. He gave me what I paid for it, actually, because I had bought that guitar on clearance. It was a 2016, so he gave me I got almost $3,000. I think it was $2,900 that we worked out the last numbers on it, and he was selling this guitar for $65, and he brought it down a little bit. So at the end of the day, it still cost me a pretty penny, but I think it was $3,700 or something that I ended up paying for this. And this same guitar, the one that I played in Vegas, was pretty much the same thing as this, and the ones that I played at the stores were all 7,400 Canadian plus tax, which worked out to 8,200. So to get the deal that I got on this and be able to trade my standard for it and not have to go and sell it privately, I mean, it's like all the stars aligned, and it happened. So there it is. I'll get you guys. It's got a nice top on it. It's exactly the color I like. It's got that classic look and feel to it. It sounds amazing. Let me see if I can actually just. Yeah, so it's on here. So let me just move some stuff. The other thing I need to find is a good wireless system, because I'm getting really tired of these cables. Let's put it that way. You're probably gonna get a little bit of pickup noise because of all the electronics in front of me, but let me shut my So there you go. It's here, and I'm super happy about it, and it sounds amazing. I haven't had a lot of chance to tweak everything yet as far as my sounds, and I've got another new item that I've incorporated into my system, and I'll share that with you a little bit later date. but it's going to require a little bit more tweaking on the system and everything here. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. The neck is just exactly what I like. It's a lot like my traditional, the one that I have back there. It's got kind of the same type of profile, which is what I've grown to really like in the last year or so. I used to like the 60s necks because I played them more often. But after I started playing my traditional a lot more, and then I got the Friedman guitars, which have a bigger neck as well, I've just come really comfortable playing that style. So this was exactly what I was looking for. Let me go back to the chat a little bit here and let's see what we got. Got to clean up here. Okay, guitar hack. Dave R says, play the hell out of that thing, man. Yeah, I intend on playing it very much. That's for sure. Mitch says, okay. R2 says, you gave a Harley Davidson, didn't you? No, I didn't give my Harley Davidson. The funny thing about the Harley Davidson part is just that we kind of bonded on motorcycles, and then he was more, he was, cool and everything, and he saw that I was into the same type of stuff, so he was willing to deal with me, and he knew that I was, a player, and I loved this guitar and everything, so he worked with me a little bit, which helped, because otherwise I'd still be looking, and because I couldn't afford to buy the brand new one off the show floor, or the from the shops and stuff. They're just too much. So yeah, so it kind of worked out. Let's see, congratulations, thank you. Terry said that's a great deal. Like I said, it reminds me of Jimmy Page too. Yeah, and this is the color that I really liked. It's that kind of a cherry burst, traditional. It's got, it's got some flame on the top, but not crazy. So it's really a classic kind of vibe to it. So I really like that. And I mean, it's just the playability of it, the way the neck feels, and the actual, it's set up really well. I didn't have to do any setup to it. I thought maybe I'd have to adjust a truss rod or something, but it was like bang on. And I think it has 10s on it. I usually play with 9.5s, but I think I'm probably going to go back to 10s because I really like having a little bit bigger string gauge. So thanks, Guitar Hack. Congrats on everybody saying congrats. Awesome. The other guitars you own are going to be jealous. Yeah, no doubt. It's hard to put this one down now. It really is. It kind of it spoils it, because when you play the custom shop stuff and you find one that fits you exactly like this one, and then you play, like I play my traditional, which I love. I still love my traditional, but you definitely feel it's different. It's definitely, there's something different about it, even though it's a little Les Paul. They're all Les Pauls and they all have the same, characteristics, but there's something different of the way they hand build these ones, and they just feel something different about it. And the sound is a little different because these pickups are different than the pickups that would be in my traditional. But with that said, I really love the traditional as well. So, but yeah, I'll probably be playing this. This will be my main axe for a long time. And the other guitars are going to get played as well, because I need all of them as far as when I'm doing my recordings and stuff. So let's see if I missed anything. Congrats. Okay, I think I'm caught up here. Man, those custom buckers sound, yeah, they really sound good, and that's hard for me to really go through all the sounds here tonight with you, is like clean and everything, because like I said, I just changed something in my setup just today, and I haven't had a chance to really get everything back to set, and I need some time to work with it to route everything again. So for next week, I'll be able to show you a little bit more where that goes, or if I go live again this week, I might have a little bit more stuff to go through. But yeah, they sound really good, trust me. That's guitars. Cool. Mark Dillon, how's it going? I think I might have missed a few people here that came in while we were talking about this guitar. Mitch Heyman says sounds great, congratulations. I have some guitar envy. Cyber Evil is in here. How's it going? Thank you for the congrats. James Severin, how's it going? All right, Guitar Hack. I think Guitar Hack already left, but I hope he has a good night. Dave Zara says to Mitch Heyman, I also have stacks of guitar magazines, modern back issues. I have Baker's course too and a few others. Okay, cool. Yeah. Mark Dillon, I think I saw ya. All right, Eric. Have a good night. And what time is it? Okay, so we've got another 10 minutes because I think Ben is going live at 8. He changed his show time to Mondays at 8, which is why I changed mine to 7. So I'm assuming that that he will be going on. So I won't go past 8 o'clock if I can help it. Mitch Heyman says, Brian, my wife gets mad when I buy 200 guitars. I wonder what she would do what you just did. Well, my wife was on board with this one because it was the birthday thing, the 50th birthday thing. So she was, you know, she was on board with this one, and she was pretty encouraging and supportive of having me find this guitar, and she was helping me actually searching as well. And she would have loved to have bought it herself and done the deal, and I would have known nothing about it, and she would have just gave it to me. But it's hard when you don't, like, especially for an instrument like this where it has to be so specific, and if you're not a guitarist or you don't know what to ask or how to go about doing that, it's hard for her to just, you know, take a chance like that for something like that. So she told me, you know, just do your thing, and, you know, I'll support it. So she's always been awesome that way, and that's something that I'm really lucky to have somebody like that. Mitch Heyman, I play my wife a song with the new guitar and then she forgets. Yeah, that's a way to do it, I guess, right? Janice, my phone just got an update. Oh, that's possible. I know I have to update my phone and watch. For some reason it came in as an update, but I haven't done it yet. Mitch Heyman says, I have Guitar Envy 2 and I don't need those blue pills. So yeah, so that's what that's all about, and really happy with it. And yeah, so it was a long time that I've been looking for one. And even as a kid, when I was growing up, when I was looking at Les Pauls, or, you know, I was a bass player, I wasn't buying any Les Pauls, you know, so this was the type of thing that I was always drawn to, this, especially this color, right? So yeah, that's it. Let me see, there was something else I needed to go through here, but I don't know if I have it set up for some reason. Oh, there's a little bit of a video from Vegas, and it's the same video that when I went live. When I went live from Vegas, I showed you kind of a little run through of the exhibit hall and the show that I was at last week. Sorry about that. So if you want, I can run that, and so you guys can, whoever wasn't on my stream last week when I did it from Vegas, and get you an idea of what that show was about and some of the stuff I saw. And maybe let me do that and see how that goes here. Hey Zach, what's going on? Can't stay, but you're popping in. That's nice. Awesome, thank you. So yeah, let me just run that video and give you a quick look at what NAB, the show that I was at last, was all about, and then we'll come back and go over some last minute questions, and we'll call it an evening. All right, so here we go. Let's see if this works. So there you go, little clip, same clip that I had last week, but I did get more footage than that. I just haven't had a chance to really go through it and you know, sort through it and make another little edit and another little video or pictures yet, but it gives you an idea. It was you see a lot of crazy tech at these shows and stuff that you know, you get to see behind the scenes of how they're doing when you're watching TV and stuff, and you see the newscast or even a sportscaster, and he's got all these cool graphics going on, and he's sitting at this fancy desk and everything. A lot of the times it's just a guy sitting at a normal desk with a big green screen around him, or some sort of set like that that's all like digitally built, and it looks amazing when you see it in person. And you all you see is this person sitting on a green screen, and you look at the screen and you see what the audience sees when they're actually putting that through the broadcast. It's it's quite amazing. So you get to see a lot of that stuff. The other stuff that I saw that was kind of cool, and I saw it a few years ago when it was just getting started, was the VR stuff. It's getting better. I think they still need to figure out some stuff where you might not have to wear like these huge headsets and things to kind of have a better experience with that. The other thing is they need to get 8K video, you know, really sorted out and worked out to really do an effective VR experience. So that's coming, because we did see a lot of 8K cameras and things when we were there. So that stuff is being developed, and probably in the next year or so we're going to see more of that stuff come out, and the prices drop on TVs that are 8K or VR stuff and all that stuff. So it's just a matter of the technology rolling and getting up to speed. But it's pretty cool. I had a VR set on, and they made me walk like you're walking on the floor, but obviously from one spot to the next. But in your VR set, it looks like you're on, you know, a huge tall building, and you're walking on a plank, a piece of wood, across to the other building, and you look down and around. You can hear the wind, you can look down, and you feel like you're super high up, and you really get like feeling that you're in that environment, which kind of freaked me out a bit, because I felt my balance and everything was all had to be adjusted, and I'm not, you know, on a piece of wood or anything. I'm on the floor. I know that if I move my foot left or right, that there's always ground there. So, but it's getting so good with some of the new technology they're putting out that you really feel like your whole body, then your brain tells you, oh my God, you know, be careful, or don't step here because you're going to fall or whatever. And that's pretty impressive that they're able to do that. And it's just going to get a lot, you know, more advanced. And I venture to think in the next 10 years how things are going to look once, you know, you could be sitting in your living room with some headset on or whatever, and you're in a whole different world. You know, and that might be a good thing, and it might be a bad thing, because I always look at this type of technology as being, you know, very good for some people, but for some other people it's very bad, because if you get an addiction to something like this, where that world becomes way more intriguing and better for you than the real world, you know, then it becomes a little dangerous, because you can see people wanting to just stay in that environment all the time, and then basically they don't socialize, they don't want to go out, or because the real world is not what that, you know, that virtual world could be, or you tell it to be. Because you can, you know, if you want to be in a, you could be sitting in this little apartment or something that's really crappy, but you put your headset on, and you, all of a sudden you're in this huge room, and you're watching a huge TV which surround, like you're in a whole different world, and it really looks real, and it sounds real, and you look around, and as you're moving your head, everything is, you know, just like if you were sitting in this room and looking around. It's the same type of stuff. It's not quite there yet for everything, but for some stuff, like more simple things, it's there, and it's going to get a lot better really quick with some of the stuff that they were showing us at the show. So yeah, it could be an interesting time, and like I said, I hope that I hope it doesn't it's more positive than some of the negative aspects that I can see happening with it. But it's like that for any of this stuff. When we saw Facebook and all this stuff come up, and we're like, oh, this is awesome, I can talk to everybody, and I can chat with this one and that one, and then we see the dark side of it where, oh my god, these people are hacking me, or these people are getting my data, or these people are doing this, or there's bullies, and like all this other world happens as well, right? So you have to look at both sides of it and balance it out and say, you know, hopefully you can, you know, you're well adjusted to begin with, and you're not going to get affected by all this stuff and know what's right and what's wrong. But yeah, so let me see if I missed anything, and then we got 2 minutes left. If you got any questions, put them in the chat and I'll answer those. If not, then we will call it a night and we will say our good nights to everybody. And let me see, very cool. How does that work? Okay. Mitch says, I always have to use a headset when I play unless my wife is not home. A headset. Oh, you're talking about headphones? I think that's what you're talking about. Janice says, I bought new furniture reluctantly, but if I get a new guitar, would that be a problem? Yeah, good question. Good question. I don't know. She only tells me to turn it down if I'm playing heavy thrash, but when she is home, I play songs like she likes. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're best to do that if you want to keep the peace. Okay, there we go. That Laney is going to be awesome. Yeah, that Laney amp has got IRs and stuff built in. That looks interesting. So I think more of these amps are going to have that type of setup, like that new SMEER amp from Pete Thorne, that PT15 is that. The Rev amp has come out with that feature in it. There's some other amps that are coming with all those features in it as well. So I think that's going to be a popular trend in the next year or 2 years. We're going to see a lot more of those things until the next thing happens, and then we'll see what happens with technology and the next trend. Mitch Heyman says, all my recordings are done on the computer. Yeah, me too. Me too. But I still play everything live. Like I don't, I try to, as little as possible, do a bunch of fixing, basically. So I'll track it a few times to make sure that I like it and I like the feel of it. But as far as going in after I've tracked a guitar and then say, oh, let me copy and paste this verse to the next verse and do all that stuff, I don't do any of that, because I find that takes away from the feel of the song as well. And so I like to play the whole song through. And yeah, if I screw up a little part or whatever, I can go back in and just punch in on that part, but I won't copy and paste from part number 1 that I nailed it to part number 2 where there might have been a little, you know, mistake or something. I won't do that. I'll actually re-record that part instead, because I find if you play through everything, it just feels a lot more natural and, you know, a lot more realistic, in my opinion. Sounds better. So I can probably do a show at some point and go through some of the recording process that I do, if that's any help to anybody, and you know, we can have a little discussion on that and see what other people are doing, and maybe learn some new techniques and some tricks as a whole, everybody in the community together, right? All right, so it's 8 o'clock, folks. I think Ben just started. I just got the notification that Ben had started, so I will call this an evening. I would like to say thank you to everybody who came on tonight and joined me in the chat, and was able to just sit through all my rambling, because it is Monday Night Ramble, right? And I will probably be streaming again this week some point. I just don't know what day yet, as I reconfigure some of this setup and get all the bugs worked out. So I usually like to stream as part of a test. So if you see my notification go up on Wednesday night or Thursday night or something, you'll know what that's about, and you're more than welcome to jump in, and we can have another chat or go through some stuff if you'd like. And other than that, it's going to be regular Monday night at 7 o'clock next Monday, the regular show. And I'll have another piece of equipment that like I said, I put together today that I'm not really ready to go through yet, but I'll be showing you some of that stuff. And here's the guitar, one last good look at her, the R9. So again, thanks everybody, and we will talk to you next time. Take care.